Every single year, there's this sound. It echoes across the entire globe. It's the sound of millions and millions of voices from literally every corner of the earth, and they're all united in one single chant as they set off on one of the most profound spiritual journeys a person can ever take.
This is called the Talbiyah, and it's so much more than just a prayer. It's a declaration. For the pilgrim, it's them answering a divine call. They repeat it over and over again, constantly reminding themselves of their one purpose. Here I am, O God, here I am. It's truly the heartbeat of the Hajj.
But what is this journey really? I mean, what are its rituals? Where did it come from? And what does it all mean on a deeper level? Let's dive in and explore the rites and the very soul of the Hajj.
Okay, so at its core, the Hajj is the annual Islamic pilgrimage to the holy city of Mecca. Now, it's one of the 5 pillars of Islam, so it's right up there with the declaration of faith, prayer, charity, and fasting. But honestly, it's more than just a pillar. For many, it's the capstone to an entire life of faith.
And get this, it's actually considered a mandatory religious duty. Every adult Muslim is expected to do it at least once in their life, as long as they're physically and financially able to make the trip. So yeah, it's an obligation, but it's also seen as a profound honor.
The journey doesn't just kick off with buying a plane ticket. No, it starts with a really deep transformation, both inside and out. Before a pilgrim even gets close to Mecca, they have to enter this special spiritual state.
This state is known as ihram, and it's not just about what you're wearing. It's a complete state of being. It's about being mindful, being patient, being totally devoted. You basically set aside all your worldly concerns to focus on something much higher. Now, this slide right here does an amazing job of showing you just how dramatic this shift is. All the stuff we use to define ourselves, tailored suits, designer brands, markers of wealth, it all disappears. Men wear 2 simple, white, unstitched cloths. Women wear simple, modest clothing. Perfumes are forbidden, arguing is forbidden, even cutting your nails is off limits. It's this incredible equalizer. A CEO is standing right next to a farmer, a king next to a commoner, and you can't tell the difference. Everyone is just humble before God. So once a pilgrim has entered this sacred state of ihram, they head to the heart of Mecca, to the Grand Mosque, and that's where the central rites of the Hajj really start to unfold. The very first of these major rites is the tawaf. This is the act of circling the Kaaba. That's the black cube-shaped building right in the center of the Grand Mosque, 7 times. It is an absolutely incredible thing to see. It's like a massive river of people all moving together as one body, in one single direction, orbiting this single center point. It's this powerful symbol of the unity of all believers, with everyone focused on one God, their lives just revolving around their faith. Right after the tawaf, pilgrims perform what's called the sa'i. This involves walking, and sometimes running, back and forth between 2 small hills, called Safa and Marwa. They're actually enclosed inside the mosque complex now. The ritual itself is pretty straightforward. Pilgrims start at the hill of Safa and walk over to Marwa. That's lap 1. Coming back to Safa is lap 2. And they keep this up for a total of 7 laps, which ends up being a walk of several kilometers. But this is so much more than just a physical exercise. It's all about commemorating a really powerful story of faith and perseverance. Pilgrims are literally walking in the footsteps of Hagar, the wife of the prophet Abraham. She ran frantically between these exact same 2 hills out in the desert, desperately searching for water for her baby son Ishmael. It's a moving tribute to a mother's love and her incredible trust in God. So while all those rituals in Mecca are iconic, they're really all just a lead-up, a kind of preparation for what everyone agrees is the absolute climax of the entire pilgrimage, the day of Arafat. So on the 8th day of the Islamic month of Dhul Hijjah, all the pilgrims move from Mecca to this massive city of tents in a place called Mina. But it's the next day, the 9th, that carries the weight of the whole journey. They travel to the plains of Arafat, and they spend the entire day there in prayer, right up until the sunset. This is it. This is the absolute peak. The day of Arafat is so important that tradition holds if a pilgrim misses this one day, their whole Hajj is invalid. It just doesn't count. There is simply no Hajj without Arafat. Just try to imagine the scale of this. You have over 2 million people, all standing shoulder to shoulder on this huge plain, under the open sky, all there for one single purpose.
It's a day of incredibly intense and deep prayer. From about noon until sunset, pilgrims spend their time praying, reflecting, and just begging God for forgiveness for everything they've done wrong. The Prophet Muhammad's statement, Hajj is Arafat, just captures its importance perfectly. It's seen as a kind of dress rehearsal for the Day of Judgment, a moment of total vulnerability and ultimate hope. Now, after that huge emotional and spiritual peak at Arafat, the Hajj still isn't over. Pilgrims have to complete a series of final rites that are full of symbolic meaning, and which guide them out of that state of ihram. These final rituals are just packed with symbolism. Pilgrims perform the Rami, which is a symbolic stoning of pillars that represent temptation and evil. They follow that up with the Qurbani, an animal sacrifice that honors Abraham's devotion. Then comes the shaving or trimming of the hair, which is a sign of rebirth. And finally, it all concludes with one last tawaf back in Mecca. Each one of these actions signifies a rejection of evil, a show of gratitude, and the last step in a complete spiritual renewal. So, with the rites complete, the journey is technically over. But its impact? Well, that's designed to last a lifetime. The pilgrim goes back home, but they are not the same person who left. And this right here really says it all. This famous saying from the Prophet Muhammad perfectly captures the spiritual promise of a Hajj that's done with a pure heart. It's the chance for a complete spiritual reset, to have your slate wiped totally clean, and to return home as pure as the day you were born. You know, the Hajj is an experience of unbelievable intensity. It strips away your ego, it builds this incredible sense of unity with millions of others, and it offers a chance at total renewal. And it leaves you with this one big, lingering question. How can a journey of just a few days manage to change a person for a lifetime?